Yes, and we're back in Yolo's bar in Tenerife. I am Ryan Clifford. This is Alan Stirling. Alan, bit different content today. Something that's just for me and you. Our best Celtic 11 from present and from the past. Martin O'Neill's team, Gordon Strachan's team, basically from the 2000s until now. You can pick a manager as well, Alan. Is it Strachan? Is it Rodgers? Is it Tony Mowbray? Loads of players we can pick from. Unbelievable talented players, Alan. Some guys might be different because they've got soft spot for players as well. So, but Yolo's bar, Alan, why be here and how good is the bar?
Yeah, the Yolo's bar in Las Americas. I've got another one at Torviscus at Costa Adeque, but this has always been the bar that I've frequented a few times, and Ryan has a number of times this week as well. So yeah, a lovely bar. Just pop down, any football game you want on. I'm sure there's 10 different screens on Yolo's bar. If you get down, just ask for any football game. Lots of decent deals as well. It's like you get it's like 5 beers for like €15. There's cocktails, two for €12.
Cost of living prices as well, Alan.
So it's a really nice bar. In there all day playing a wee bit of bingo as well. So no luck, but yeah, no, thanks for the guys for letting us record in here, and I highly recommend it anytime you're over Las Americas in Tenerife. Very nice.
I guy actually walked past and went, Tony.
So,
That's a lot of crap, but
so,
didn't miss it.
I know. So it's a lovely bar, and anytime you're over here, it's a lovely place to chill out, watch any kind of sports, horse racing, football, etc. So definitely recommend it. But we'll go on to what we're speaking about. We're kind of mixing it up a wee bit. We're talking about my favourite all-time 11 in our lifetime, so I'm slightly a wee touch older than your good self, so there might be a wee mix-up of the players that we're going for. So we'll go position by position, and then we'll speak about a brief reason why. But I think we go with a 4-3-3. We go with that.
I'd probably say so, yeah.
Go with that. That opens it up, and then we can mix and match a wee bit. So where you going with? You want to kick us off?
Goalkeeper for me, I think I've said it previously, how highly I rated Artur Boric. Boric for me is one of the best goalies I've seen at Celtic. You could probably put in Fraser Forster as well, but I think if you want to call world class, for me Boric was borderline or up there world class. I don't know Arthur personally, but I think if he, obviously he's listening, I think it seems that Arthur enjoyed his life and probably still does. He's earned the right to enjoy himself. He's earned a lot of good money and just amazing. For me, Boric was, listen, I know he played with Celtic, but I think he could have easily went to Man United, Arsenal, teams like that easily. Maybe if his lifestyle was outside a bit better, but in terms of his overall ability as a football player, Alan, for me there's no debate in my opinion, it's Artur Boric, and hopefully we can get a goalie maybe like that in Casper this year, but for me it's Artur Boric hands down.
Yeah, I think that this was a hard one for me. I loved Artur Boric, and some of his antics as well was really entertaining to say the least, but I think I'm just going to edge towards Fraser Forster for me. I think the wall was absolutely incredible and brilliant. Some of the saves, incredible saves that he made, and you're sitting there watching and thinking that guy's no right to make a save like that. I think mind the Julian Cup final, when that was his second stint at Celtic on it. Some of the unbelievable saves he made during that game as well. It was just like, this guy's for a different planet. So for me, it's a close one between Boric and Forster. We can go back and talk about Tony Warner and Dimitri Karin if you want, but for me, I think Fraser Forster just shades it for me. Shaves it. Aye, it just shades it for me, and I think but it's a good decision to have. It just shows the kind of calibre of goalkeepers that we've seen at Celtic throughout the years as well. There has been a couple of proper decent ones. And
then obviously defence, right back. For me, there's been a few good steady Eddie right backs. For me, I thought one guy who was very, very steady Eddie, and maybe he was underrated was Andy Hinkle. Maybe unfortunate that he didn't continue his career maybe at Celtic a bit longer, but I thought Hinkle was very good. I don't think he cost a lot of money either considering the experience, but I'm going to go with somebody who I think was always dependable. He stayed, maybe he could have stayed a bit longer if I don't know if it was a hierarchy or Neil Lennon at the time. I don't know if I think it was Neil Lennon under Neil Lennon that he left. I'm sure it was. Miko Lustig. I don't know if it was to do with the board, his age. I don't know, but for me, Miko Lustig was always very good. He might have had the odd mistake in Europe, but 8-9 times out of 10 he was dependable. He was reliant and up and down. When he first came, he was very good, and I know he got a new hairstyle. But for me, Miko Lustig, just because obviously I'm a wee bit younger, I would say somebody who I've seen a lot and who was just really, I think was respected as well around me. It's the Swedish internationalist Miko Lustig.
Yeah, and although we're going for a 4-3-3, I'm going to ever so slightly cheat, I think, and add in a player so that we could squeeze them in. That was one of my favourite players growing up. And they played right wing back quite a lot, so right back, slightly different, but got to go for Didier Gap. He's no proper right back, but we're not playing with wing back, so he'll slot in my right back position. Probably the fastest player I've ever seen at Celtic. I've watching him live. I remember, I think it was the first, was one of the first games he signed for us, and it was playing against, I think it was Hearts, and Gordon Petric used to play with Rangers as well. He kicked the ball by him and gave him about 10 yards at a start and still caught the ball before that guy, and I'd never seen anybody so electric in my life. Sometimes his crossing was a bit left to be desired, but for me, I'd be going with Didier Gap. For me, I know there's people like Lustig and Andy Hinkle, but a Gap just kind of shades it for me.
No, listen, a Gap, considering you talk about value for money and players now, we've got value for money for him. 50 grand, and he was a very good player for Celtic and in Europe as well. The game against Ajax as well. No. That showed you what his pace is all about. Centre defence, I'm just going to talk about my two. For me, it's Mialbi and Van Dijk. I could have put Vickers in there, but I just feel Van Dijk was Vickers. For me, Vickers has been the best since Van Dijk. A lot of people might say that Vickers was better than Van Dijk to what he's done at Celtic, maybe what he's done here, but for me, I'm going to go with Mialbi. Mialbi was solid. This is what you call a man mountain. I think this is a bit what we're missing next to Vickers, somebody who can play with the ball with his feet, but say, here you, out the road, I'm taking the ball off you. The European, obviously at his points as well, he was fantastic, so you've got to say, I would say Mialbi and Van Dijk. I don't think I need to get into them too much because people know them, people know what they were like. I know Van Dijk was not maybe in the better Celtic teams and at that time for the under Dyer's last season for the European side. So, but for me, Van Dijk, we've seen what he's done now, and Mialbi for me was an absolute standout in most games, and that was when in the tunnel, you had him, Phil Harren, guys like that, Petrov, strong guys, and teams feared teams, and that's the sort of guys I would love in my team.
I'm going to agree with you on it. It's a hard choice as well. I know what you're saying about Mialbi, but I was maybe a Bobo's going to get you kind of guy. I think just the sheer size and sheer power of Bobo Baldé was frightening. I know he was never the greatest kind of player with the ball at his feet, but the amount of times he's just kind of shoved people out the way, and people with kind of great strength and a fair size as well. So I would definitely be going with Virgil van Dijk. I think you've explained everything there about how great a player he's been. I think he's shown that with his career after he's left Celtic as well. He's just kind of flourished whenever he's left, and he's been quoted as probably one of the best centre halves in the world at times. So, but for me, next to him it would be Bobo Baldé. I loved his all-round play. Just probably somebody would like next to Carter Vickers just now. Just somebody that doesn't mess about and make sure he wins the ball no matter what else he's taking with the ball, whether that be the man or anything. So that would be me with Bobo Balde and Virgil van Dijk.
And then left back for me, it's probably a standout. I don't know if you want to explain as well, but for me it's Kieran Tierney. I would actually love to get him back. I know he's got injury issues, but for me, if his injuries didn't hamper him, Alan, I believe he'd be up there with one of the left backs in the world. I think he's that good. It's just my personal opinion. I think he's quick, he's strong, he's dynamic, he can score goals as well. He's got a good shot on him as well, delivery, crisp passes, and it's probably unfair on Greg Taylor that he gets no compared to him, but that's who he's kind of had to come in and play under and take over. And listen, for Celtic to buy a left back as Kieran Tierney, you would be, if that happened, you'd be laughing. So for me, I don't think I need to explain too much because we all know about KT, and I'd hope to get him back one time. I know now he's not on the Arsenal team, but it looks at. So this could be the best time to get him back. I'd love it if we can get a deadline deal for him, if possible. But for me, Kieran Tierney's an absolute standout, and I think he's going to be my Celtic team.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think Kieran Tierney would be one of the best left backs in the world if it wasn't for his kind of constant injury problems. It just seems there's always something popping up. It's just a shame because he's such a talent. Some of his kind of performances with Celtic especially, and you see how the start of his Arsenal career, how highly rated he was. He was getting talked about when he moves to kind of Real Madrid and Man City. It's just kind of petered out a wee bit because of some of the injuries that he's maybe picked up. So yeah, I'd be one that would definitely want Kieran Tierney to come back because if we could get a fit Kieran Tierney, he'd be one of the best players in our league by quite a distance, I think. You're looking at it as well where for Arsenal to pay that kind of money for a player for Scotland, it's no. When you look at the players that Celtic are sold and they're rutting across the water, there's never a kind of top four, usually never a top four English Premier League side that actually pick these players up. It's usually somebody near the bottom of the Premier League that pick them up first, and then if they come up like Victor Wanyama, then they'll move on to the top four and Virgil van Dijk. But Arsenal seen the quality of Kieran Tierney right away, and they came directly to Celtic to make that move. So no, he's very very good player, and hopefully we can get him back at some point.
No, I think in terms for me, the other part would be obviously your wingers. I don't know if it's maybe I've got a soft spot, but because I've spoke to him on the podcast, I think I've got to add out wide Alan Thompson. I thought Alan Thompson was tremendous. No, I'm going to go wingers first.
Oh, wingers.
I'm going wingers first for me because I want to get him out the wider now. Alan Thompson for me was tremendous. Left wand, absolute left wand, a left peg. Should have get more caps for England at that time because at that time he was one of the best left mids in England as an English person. I know he played in Scotland, but that maybe hampered him. And I think he got a token gesture cap. I think it was just a token gesture, and I think that's only 45 minutes, if my memory serves me right. So no, but I'm going to say Alan Thompson for me, standout, absolutely superb. Again, strong, physical, liked to tackle. Derby games, he was a colossus. I know he made the odd mistake getting a red card when he shouldn't have, but Alan Thompson, he was superb. And the other guy, just because his sheer class, has got to be Nakamura. Nakamura was genuine, I would say, world class again. Maybe no his running ability and stuff, but his actual technique and how he lived his life and what he done for Celtic, free kicks, last minute goals, winning leagues, scoring against Man United. For me they two are, I think that you need to be very good players to get them out your team. I know you've had McGeady, you've had Jota, but for me they two are standouts.
I agree with the Nakamura, but I was going to put him in midfield maybe. So I'll swap up, but I'll keep Nakamura in there. It's a kind of mix and match. So I agree with Nakamura. Should definitely be in the team. Nakamura is one of the most technically gifted players that I've ever seen in my time at Celtic. His utter class at controlling the ball. I think there was an interview with Gordon Stratton that was saying that they came out and it was hailstones and snowing and that, and they put the ball over to Nakamura and they couldn't control it, and he says, right, everybody in, if he can't control it, you haven't got a hope. So it just shows it was proper class. I just for the excitement, I think Jota, I'd put Jota on the other side. I think just in the short time that he was with us, it was a year on loan and then a year permanently, but some of the class, some of the assists and goals are really memorable, and you've seen that with the amount of money that he's left for. It's not really worked out for him in kind of Saudi Arabia, but I think he's a proper top-notch player. They got people off their seats, got people excited, and so I'll go with the wingers now is Jota and Nakamura.
Aye, centre mids. You've got team coach Scott Brown, absolute amazing captain, amazing leader. He just led for the changing room. He led on the park, and his professionalism to always to want that will to win, have that mentality, the accolades he's won. He still beat Celtic and show a bit of loyalty. I know he could have went to Spurs. There was talk about Newcastle. The fact that he stayed here when he was maybe not feeling the best with his injuries, and Rodgers came in and helped him. And for me, Scott Brown has to be up there, because right now as it stands in my lifetime, he's Celtic's best ever captain. So obviously I wasn't alive with Billy McNeil and stuff, and then the guys like Paul McStay as well, who have captained the team in the past, and other guys. But for me, Scott Brown's got to be there. This one's the other one. It's a bit. I don't want to disappoint people, because it's a choice of two people. Probably Lambert or Petrov. For me, again, Lambert won the European Cup and then he came to Celtic. That just doesn't happen. I know he took a bit of time to settle in, but Paul Lambert was unbelievable. But I'm going to go just sheer for energy, power, just toughness, just the fact that he came from our country, developed and earned these stripes, and it was phenomenal. It was always, like me and you right now, absolutely sweating. Stilian Petrov. Petrov was unbelievable. Just a colossus in that midfield. He was integral to the team as well. I know he had a wee bit of timber when he came, and he lost the weight under Martin O'Neill, and Martin O'Neill played him just about every game. And I can remember some of his goals against Dunfermline and then stuff like that. He was phenomenal, and for me that's the two centre mids for me, Petrov and Scott Brown.
Oh, you've gone. I thought we were going three centre mids. Timo Pukki.
Done alright, to be fair.
No, was Celtic, didn't he?
Rasmussen.
I know.
Pavel Brodzic.
That's Marc-Antoine Fortuny.
He was alright, to be fair, Mark, to be fair.
I'm going with three in the middle. It was a toss-up between. You're only going with one defensive midfielder, and I think Scott Brown and Neil Lennon. That is a hard decision to make, but just for the accolades that he's made, I think that Scott Brown's that guy I want to have in that centre defence midfield. So I go with Scott Brown there. I think he's the amount of trophies and just the way he portrays himself, it speaks volumes. And that for me, that's the reason why. I'm probably going for 2 10s here, and I think the first one's going to be Mr. Tom Rogic. I think some of the wonders that came through that man's feet was unbelievable.
That goal at Ibrox was sensational, wasn't it?
He's done it so many times, and you've seen especially as well. He went through a little dip maybe with when kind of Neil Lennon's tenure.
Injuries, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you've seen when Ange came back as well. He was probably one of our most important players, most influential players. And throughout his Celtic career, I think it was like 9 years he was at Celtic, I think.
Something like that. And he came under. Did Lennon sign him?
It might have been Lennon that signed him first time round.
Aye.
So, but I think some of the goals that are so memorable, and you look at even the invincible treble and all with the Aberdeen goal, I think that's kind of monumental, and that'll be forever played back. The videos Rogic scored in that kind of last minute and running away. So I'm going with Tom Rogic, and the other one is probably the second most talented footballer I've seen play for Celtic, and that'll be MEMROABILIA. Now, come in at 33-year-old, 300 grand, 350 grand, and his first game against Rangers, scores 2 goals, and he looks round at the park as if, what have I done here? But he's so short. Technically, again, one of the best players I've ever seen. Some of his control, the accuracy, passing, it was just sublime to watch the guy. Some of his goals, the free kicks as well. So absolutely unbelievable. And so my midfield three there is maybe a mismatch. I don't know how they'd all work together, but a 6 in kind of Scott Brown, and then 2 10s maybe in Moravchik and Tom Rogic, and that's for me. And then I've got a funny feeling we're going to my one striker's going to be the same as one of yours.
I think what I'm going to do is here, it might actually be a bit of a shock to some of the guys I'm going to pick, because some of the real guys, like Sutton and Hartson, were amazing. But I can remember them. But I'm going to go with guys maybe that I've had, that guys who I don't want to say that I idolise my game on and stuff, but guys that I just used to watch closely because I get more into football. And if Larsson, with Larsson in the team, I'm going to go with Larsson and Edward. For me, I loved Edward. I've got a sort. People who listen to the podcast will know, they'll probably wonder why I'm picking him. But Edward get me excited. Edward get me off my seat. As soon as Edward get the ball, I'm gone. I'm like, on you go, do something. And the goal at Ibrox and just some of the stuff he used to do for me was that bit of quality, that bit of class. And Rodgers knew what he signed. I know he says that he's one of the biggest talents I've seen at that age, and £9 million a wee bit of a bargain. Not a bargain at the time, but it was a bargain now. When you look what he done, and he was supposedly lazy and this and that, but he scored over 20 goals in that season. So his last season, to say that he was lazy, for me, I don't like that word, because to score over 20 goals, maybe I'm been biased because I played there myself. To score goals at that level, I'd not played at that level, you still need to do something right, and he was always there. But so without Larsson, I'm going to go with Hooper and Edward. With Larsson, it'll be Larsson and Edward. People are going to say, why no picking Dembele and stuff, but Hooper for me was unbelievable. His finishing prowess, his touch, his core control, he can hold people off. The goal against Spartak Moscow, similar to Kyogo, Ibrox, boom, bang. He had that killer instinct. So people are going to say, why no mention Sutton and Hartson, but for me, I can only go by who I've seen more of. And I was a bit younger then with Sutton and Hartson. I'm nearly 31 now. This is 2024. That was 2003, 4, 5, a while ago. So I've seen more of Edward and Hooper. I've seen Larsson, but we all know about Larsson. He's a king of kings. So with Larsson, it's Larsson and Edward, and without Larsson, it's Hooper and Edward.
I've only got one striker. I played 4-3-3, so I've named the 2 wingers, so there is only one guy for me. And I was at the right age, growing up in the prime of Henrik Larsson, so I was throughout my kind of teenage years that I was seeing that is Henrik Larsson. So some of the most exciting times in my Celtic life is watching Henrik Larsson, and the guy was just phenomenal. We'll never ever see the likes of Henrik Larsson at Celtic again. For somebody to leave Celtic and go to Barcelona at that age,
Man United, I know.
And it just shows the sheer quality of the guy. He was one of the best players in the world, and we had him at Celtic for 7 years, and he scored, I think it was one season, he scored 53 goals in one season, I'm pretty sure.
Was that not the
I thought it was
the Seville season? Was it?
I'm pretty sure it was, but I might be wrong, but I think it was 53 goals in one season. So there's no other options. I know what Ryan's saying. Look, personally, I prefer Dembele to Edward, but it is a close call. But for me, if you're playing one up front there is only one option. We can speak about kind of Hartson, Sutton, Samaras.
I know it sounds, but see, just for the actual goals, I know Griffiths as well.
Yeah.
I know people might not rate him in terms of to score him into a goal for Celtic. And listen, obviously Lee's had his career's went down a wee bit, but he's obviously enjoying himself now in Australia, and he's obviously doing well with Mandra with John Baird. But Lee Griffiths to score over 40 goals at Celtic, that's, no matter how good you might be outside the box or whatever, to do that, that's and Dembele was there as well at the time, so his game time wasn't always starting every game, and to do that, so it just shows you the talent we've had up front.
Aye, no, I get you. Aye, there's only one. There's only one option there.
I'm not comparing Griffiths to Larson, I'm just saying there's loads that you can pick for.
We'll need another 20 of these strikes here, so... no, for me, I think that'll finish off the team that...
So what's your team overall?
So, overall...
Who's your manager?
Oh, the manager. Dr. Joe Kidron. We're looking at... So mine was Fraser Foster, a back four of Didier Agat, Bobo Balde, Virgil van Dijk and Kieran Tierney. Midfield three, sitting is Scott Brown. Up two will be Tom Rogic and Lubomir Moravcik. Nakamura in one wing, Jota in the other wing, and the King of Kings, Henrik Larsson up top. And a manager is... It's hard to see Gregor Distracting, Mark O'Neill, Brendan Rodgers. Because I grew up in the element of how exciting it was to watch that Celtic team, I think I'll go with Mark O'Neill.
That's fair, no, aye. So for me, it's obviously Boric, Lustig, Tierney, Van Dijk, Mialbi, Brown, Petrov, Thompson, Nakamura, and if you include Larsson and Edward, and without Larsson, it'd be Hooper and Edward, and my managers, for me, it's going to be Rodgers. The fact that I just think in recent times, he's kind of made trebles the norm, and he's kind of made this, he's changed a bit of the winning mentality. And listen, you could probably pick Ange as well, because Ange transformed us. It's the first bit of real proper football we've seen again. But I think Rodgers, we've seen recently that he's kind of continued that, and just a full CV of Rodgers, for me, the guy is just, I think he's a right manager, and I think he would get this team rolling. But having a wee bit of fun there.
I actually thought, I forgot about Ange there. I've blocked him at my head that much that honestly, Ange didn't even come into my mind there. I'm sitting thinking about Ronnie Dyer and Tony Mowbray. Ange didn't even come into my head. I put that right in the back of my head.
But no, listen, it's a good bit of fun. People are probably going to shout again, why you know picking him? And I think these kind of comes to your personal preference and who you like, because you could pick Hartson next to Sutton or Larson.
I don't know how you have one team the same.
I think we're all going to pick a lot of guys like we know JP loves Paul McStay. So JP would put Paul McStay maybe next to Scott Brown or guys like that. So it all depends who you've seen and who you've seen off it. But overall, please like and subscribe to the podcast. Yeah. We hope you're enjoying the content over on Tenerife. Our good man JP will be here on the channel for another Take Me to Paradise very soon as well, while we're over here. But until then, please subscribe to the channel.
Just a big thank you again to Yolo Sports Bar, Las Americas. Thanks to the staff and the management for letting us record here. And we'll